What's up guys, it's your favorite QB coach. Welcome to another video of this new video series where we take a look at our students before and after swings and I give you guys some help. Let's go do this thing. So welcome back to the channel guys. If you guys are new here to QB Golf Japan, we do a bunch of videos like this every single week. So if you're looking to get better at your guys' golf games and you guys want to hear some new information that you probably haven't heard from other golf instructors in Japan, this is the YouTube channel for you. Go hit the little red subscribe button, smash the like button, leave a comment, and then share it to your friends. Let's go hop into the first part of this video. Alright guys, so this particular video we're looking at a student called Toma. Essentially, he was struggling with something called over-rotation, which is something that we've seen a lot here in Japan. So I wanted to make a whole video about talking about over-rotation and essentially kind of where I think it came from. So essentially, I think it came from people who are trying to learn the George Gankis method. They try to rotate as much as they possibly can in transition, and by the time they get to around position 6, their hips get so open that they really can't open that much anymore, and they actually end up stalling through impact as opposed to rotating through impact. And they get kind of the same result as you would for a player who doesn't rotate a lot, right? Who early extends. So I think over rotation is just as bad as early extension. And we're going to kind of highlight how this player was over rotating, give you guys kind of some key checkpoints to look for if you are over rotating. And then we're going to show you guys how we fixed his golf swing. Let's go hop in. Okay, so for me, the first thing to check for over-rotation is going to be the knees and the hips. Like, how much are they rotating, and then when are they rotating? So if we take Toma down around position 5 in the old swing, this is kind of the first checkpoint that we're going to look at. So if we go draw an arrow right here, kind of resembling where the knee line is, we can see that it's slightly close to the ball target line. Now, for most players, it's not too bad at this position, but for me personally, especially for a player who's trying to hit a draw, I would like to see the knee line maybe just slightly more close than this. But again, it's not a huge deal at this point. But let's go take a look at position 6 and see where he's at. So if we take Toma to position 6, we can see that his knee line is now pointing over this direction. And he's pretty much 45 degrees open at position 6, which is where most people want to be at impact. So again, from position 5, he was in an okay spot, maybe a little over-rotated, but nothing too serious. But then he really started to churn the gears and really started to rotate from here to position 6. And then he gets into kind of that over-rotated position. Now, another thing I want you guys to check for if you think you're over-rotating is take a look at where the shoulder line is relative to the hips. So if we go draw a line right here, we can see that the shoulder line is pretty much parallel to the ball target line, and then the hips are right around 45 degrees open. That's a lot of separation, right? The more separation that you have, potentially more speed, but if you really overdo that separation, i.e. this look right here that we're looking at currently, then we're going to actually start possibly having potential to injure the lumbar spine. And as well, we're going to start seeing through impact, this player is not going to be rotating a whole lot, and they're actually going to be extending and having little to no rotation. And let's go highlight that real quick. So if we take this player down to impact, we're going to see that the chest rotates a little bit, but if you kind of really key in and look at what the hip line is doing, we really don't see the hip line rotating much. We do see it extending, but really again from here to here, not a whole lot of rotation. And then from impact to about just before position 8, that's when we're seeing the massive flip move, and we're also seeing a lack of rotation through that particular point, and we're really just seeing the shoulder starting to kind of hunch up like this, and then the hands really flipping through the shot. And let's highlight that so you guys can see that. So if we draw a circle right here, we can see that the right hand is overtaking the left. That's that classic little flippy look. If we kind of take a look at the shoulders, we can see that the shoulders look a little hunched up. He looks like a little bit kind of this way through the ball. And again, a lot of that is because he got so rotated at position 6, which is back here. Hips were very far open, shoulders were closed. You're never going to see a player rotate from there. You're always going to see the player start extending, lack of rotation, arms and hands taking over, and that's the flip we talk about and that we don't like. So let me show you that one more time. As you can see, not a lot of rotation through here. Now from this position, pretty much to the top of the swing, I want you to take a look at his back foot. This is something that we targeted as well in the lesson. We can see that that back foot's not really doing a whole lot of work, right? It's just staying on the ground here. He's not really pushing forward. And again, he's really not rotating a whole lot. The chest is rotating, the hips are rotating a little bit, but not as much as they really could be. And he's really kind of hanging back on the trail side, not pushing his pressure forward, and ultimately, I think, losing out on a whole lot of speed as well as control in the shot. He also had a very, very high trajectory because he wasn't pushing pressure forward, right? Let's go take a look at his after swing and see exactly what we changed with this player. All right, so we have both players at the top of the swing now. You can obviously see that I'm supporting him on this right video, and I think the reason why I used this video was because I really wanted you to see what I was trying to do with the hip line in early transition. So if we take them both down to position 5, we're going to see a noticeable difference between the hip line and how open or closed it is. So that was his before swing. Let's go take a look at the after. Now, this on the after is probably a little bit exaggerated. It's a little bit more closed with the hip line that I would prefer to see. But we were really trying to get him a little bit more of an exaggerated feel, so when he left the lesson, he wasn't going to revert back as quickly, right? That's something that we like to talk to the students about. If we can exaggerate the feel, we're probably going to limit the amount that we fall back to the old swing until the next lesson, right? And as long as the student is aware that it's an over-exaggeration and it's not actually what we want them to do, then it's okay, right? So as you can see, position 5 is much different. In the after swing, the hip line is much more closed. Before swing, the hip line is obviously much more open. Let's go take a look at position 6. So as we take him down to position 6, again, that's that over-rotated look. Let's take the new position 6 down. So as we can see at position 6, we can see that the knee line is pretty much now parallel to the ball target line. It's not really open or closed to it. The old swing, we can see that it was very open at position 6 and that the shoulder line was right around here. Now we're seeing that the shoulder line and the hip line pretty much have no separation, right? Ultimately, obviously, we want some separation. So in a real life swing, when he was swinging correctly, we'd want to see the hip line and the knee line a little bit more open than what he's got in the after swing. But again, it's that over exaggeration that we're working on to get this player somewhere back to normal. Now, as we get through here, I really want you guys to focus on from position 7 to 8, and you guys are really going to see a difference in the way that the foot moves as well as the release changes, because now the sequencing of the hips is a whole lot better. So let's go take a look at that real quick. All right, so I got a circle drawn on both the feet. I want you guys to take a look at this first. Let's take them just before position 8. So as you can see, the before, feet aren't really moving that much, right? Release is pretty flippy. Now as we take the after, we can see a whole different release now. We can just start seeing that the foot is pushing a lot earlier, right? So from here to here, you can see the foot actually moving now. From here to here on the other one, the foot was not doing a whole lot. If we kind of zoom in and look at the release, we can see that before the right forearm was above the left. If you go zoom in this one, now the right forearm's still below the left, so they really haven't got any excessively supinated at this point in the golf swing. Now let's just keep looking at the foot line, or not the foot line, excuse me, the foot and how it's working from this position all the way up to about, let's call it just above P9, right? So if we take a look at P9 on the before and the after, now we're seeing a massive difference in the way that the foot has moved. If you look at the after, the foot's now released a lot more. The before swing, obviously, he never pushed pressure to the lead side, which again means that he's hitting that really, really high ball. Now we're actually starting to see ball flight lower a lot. So essentially, throughout the lesson, really what we worked on, like I talked about, getting rid of over-rotation by just really understanding the correct sequence of when the hips should be opening up. Then once we got the correct sequencing, we really worked on that trail foot and getting that thing to push and churn through the golf ball to where he could push his pressure forward, get a little bit more speed and get a little bit more control through the shot, as well as lower that ball flight. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. We did a different type of video. We had my face in this one, so let me know if you guys like this. Do you guys want the face in it? Do you not want the face in it? Leave all your comments below. Also, we have an upcoming seminar going on at Greenwich. It's going to be about matchups, so make sure to hit the description and the link below. There's going to be 10 participants per day. It's going to be strictly all about matchups. We're going to create your own individual matchup game plan on the driving range portion of that seminar, and I honestly think it's going to be one of the best seminars out there in Japan. Also, as well, we have lessons, so if you guys want, sign up for November or December lessons. They're going to be going really quick. Hit the link in the description as well. Like this video, comment on it, share it if you guys think this brought you some value, and I'll see you guys next time.